Okay, today I'm going to demonstrate the game that I made on this HTML page, which is basically a online way of playing or a demo version of playing the Elemental Nexus, which is a card game that I made. And I'll go ahead and show you how the project works and then explain how was I able to make it. So first, we see on the screen that we have 7 cards and our opponent has 7 cards. Our goal is to win the game by making our enemy lose all their cards. We have different elements like earth, water, paper, darkness, water. I'm just gonna go ahead and choose a random one to start with. Let's say paper. When I click on paper, there's a game mechanic where it is going through a number of math on to see which element in dueling with other element gets what result. So when I'm playing paper, when my opponent plays lightning, I lose. So in result of the clash, I lost my card, but my opponent got to draw a card. So he has a random card that he picked up from the deck. So he has 7 cards. In other words, he has 7 health, but I'm left with 6 cards. In other words, I have 6 health. To win the game, either of the player will need to run out of cards. So let's go ahead and do some more trials. I played darkness. I lost again because my opponent plays plasma. Plasma is like a trump card which wins to all of the other cards in the game. So in that scenario, the game logic is correct. Next up, I played paper and then I lost again to water. Next, I'm playing earth, which I lost again. I only have 3 water cards, so hopefully I'll win some duels to be able to get back. Here I played water, but my opponent played darkness, so I got the win, which means I got to draw a card, and as you can see, the opponent lost a card, so he is down to 6 cards. Next round, I lost to a plasma again, so I lost a card. I have 2 left. Okay, I played water and my opponent played scissors, and that's the reason why I got a new card. Instead of water, I got a magic card, but my opponent is down to 5 cards now. Let's go ahead and play magic. Okay, I lost to a plasma. Alright, I was able to win the last match with the same scenario of water and scissors. So with the same game mechanic of the regular way of playing on the card, I was just able to use the same game concept to put it in this game. So to win against paper, or for me to win this next duel, I need to have the opponent to play either sorry, that was the wrong card. To play rock, magic, or shadow, and that way I'll be able to win the next duel. Alright, looks like my opponent played fire, which is a loose component for me, so in that way I lost the game, but the opponent player was able to win it. So this is a quick demo of how the opponent or how a customer would be able to know how the game would work, and to be able to see if it's something of their liking. I have a play again button, which is basically a restart button. It works the same way as restarting the game, and then it sets you back to the starting the starting page of playing the game. Let's go ahead and try this one really quick so you know how the game is working. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with plasma because this is an automatic win. Unless he plays a plasma of his own, then it'll be tie, which he does. Oh, which he does. Okay, so this logic is again valid as both of us played plasma and we're able to tie. So as a result, I have 7 cards and my opponent has 7 cards as well, which is very much coincidental because that doesn't happen as often. Let's go ahead and quickly go through this game. I'm just gonna randomly click some cards which I'm not doing too good with. Let's see. I'm gonna play some game until I win one, because this is really weird on how I'm not able to win. Is my luck that bad? Alright, I need to win this last match. I would say lighting is a better option, which it was, so I won against water, and as a result I was able to win the game. This is how the game ends. Alright, let's go to the codes to see how I was able to make this. And I am able to host this on a HTML page which takes the TS script, which is then later compiled to a JavaScript, which makes the game possible and for the website to be able to operate it. If you see on the code, the first thing we have is the definition of the cards, which is a class that defines all the structures of the card. So we have the element, which is a string, a value number, and also a element index, also number. We have another class called game, which is basically the naming for the basic game logic, which gives us a place to keep, to register all the name of the cards, which is one of each: rock, paper, scissors, fire, water, earth, and magic, lightning, darkness, with also an addition of a trump card, which is plasma. And we are also able to put in all the declaration of the all the possible type of cards. So these are all the possibility of among our 7 cards that we will have one of these cards. Awesome. Next step, we have the constructor, and this is just to check the required HTML to see if everything looks good, and if it's something's wrong, then to throw an error so people can reset or be able to figure out that there's something wrong with that game. It's just a handy backend message that holds on so that player knows that there's some issue with the game. Next important thing, we have the initialization of hand. This is really important because we are required to start off with a random set of 7 cards, and that is possible by the create random card, and this makes sure that the player hand, also the opponent hand, starts with 7 cards each, and it's random. So this logic is backed off with also the create random card, which has a math for, and also it is connected with the element's length to make sure that it doesn't go beyond. With the logic itself, it is not possible for a player to have more than 7 cards, because you only draw a card, 1 card per each game, but you also lose a card or like an element after each duel. So for that logic, also it is required for us to have a random card generator, so that every time we pull up a card from the deck, it's a random card and it's not something from the discard pile. Next on the list, we have the render hands. This is also just to make sure that that everything looks good while being played in the game, and also uses an arrow function for event handling. so that it goes step by step, and it doesn't bring errors while playing the game. Um, to actually start the game, this is where we have our play turn class, where we are able to actually hold the cards and also be able to resolve the battle. This is backed off with our draw logic, with remove player cards logic, and also when the game is over. So as you can see, just like I talked about earlier, a random card is drawn every time we win or tie the game. So when we lose the card, but only if we win, tie, then we get this random card in our hand. But if we lose, then we lose the card. This is there right there, because every card that's played needs to be needs to disappear, so it goes to the discard pile. And the way to check if the game is over is to know if is when the player is out of number of cards, which means the player length goes back to 0. The last but not least, the main component is the game logic, which is all the math around what elements wins what, and how the plasma cards come across it. And so it's a basic kind of like if-else statement. If a card is played and then the opponent plays anything like rock, darkness, rewarded, and the player wins is what is printed, and it goes back and draws a card from the system. And then if it's if not any of these are implied, then the player has lost, and if it's the same card, then the player ties. Now, what we need to do with this code to actually be able to run in the game is to actually be able to generate a JavaScript out of it. So I use this handy website called TypeScript, where I basically copy and pasted all of my code, and I was able to get this code in this website, which I can run and export, and be able to put it on my game.js, which is then able to link to my game.html, and when I'm able to run the code, I'll be able to play the game again. Hopefully this project makes sense, and I'm very excited for developing this game for more players to be able to play it, and also be able to play it as 2-player sometime down the road.